In a major move that may be a game changer as far as Tamil Nadu politics is concerned, the BJP is reportedly trying to get a truce between EPS and the Sashikala factions. Sources claim that BJP has inquired about including Sashikala and TTV Dinakaran in the alliance led by AIADMK for the upcoming polls. BJP feels that Sashikala can sway the Tevar community to which she belongs into the alliance's fold. Chief Minister EPS is yet to take a call on this rapprochement offer. TTV, meanwhile, is keeping his options open. Sources reveal that if Chief Minister EPS doesn't accept the AMMK alliance and talks between actor turned Neta Vijayakant's DMDK and AIADMK doesn't make any headway, then the AMMK may swoop in and initiate talks with the DMDK. TTV Dinakaran is also keeping DMDK as an option and expecting that Congress might join in if its talks turn sour with the DMK. The problem here is that TTV Dinakaran's options are all based on a big if.
எதிரி திராவிட முன்னேற்ற கழகம் தான். அவர்களை வீழ்த்த சபதமேற்று நாம் உழைத்து அம்மாவுக்கு வெற்றியை சேர்க்க வேண்டும் என்று அன்போடு கேட்டுக்கொள்கிறேன்.
So that was Sashikala speaking on Jayalalitha's birth anniversary, refusing to take any jibe at the AIADMK, in fact saying that DMK is the common enemy. EPS, on the other hand, earlier said very clearly that there is no chance of Sashikala being brought back into the party.
Sashikala வெளியே வர பட்சத்துல அதிமுக கூட இணையறதுக்கு
வாய்ப்பே கிடையாது. அவர்கள் கட்சியிலே இல்ல.
சார் இந்த 7 பேர்
அதிமுக கட்சியிலே கிடையாது.
சசிகலா அவர்கள் அதிமுகல சேர மாட்டாங்க. அவங்க நாங்க ஏற்றுக்கொள்ள
100% கிடையாது. அதாவது அனைத்து இந்திய அண்ணா திராவிட முன்னேற்ற கழகம் என்பது தெளிவாக முடிவு செய்யப்பட்டு இன்னைக்கு நடைபெற்றுக் கொண்டிருக்கிறது. தமிழ்நாடு முழுவதும் பார்க்கின்ற பொழுது பெரும்பாலான பேர் அந்த இருந்தெல்லாம் அதிமுக ஜாயின் பண்ணிட்டாங்க. சில பேர் அவரோட இருக்காங்க.
அவர் மட்டும் இருக்காரு.
Pramod Madhav is joining us live from Chennai with more details on this. Pramod, good afternoon. In a few minutes from now, we're going to play out your conversation with TTV Dinakaran. But before that, tell us what the AIADMK is thinking about this. The fact that their ally, the BJP, is now pushing for a truce with Sashikala.
Well, there's kind of a problem inside AIADMK because it does not have one leader but two. There are two people who take decisions, of which one allegedly is in favor of whatever BJP says, but the other person, that is Edappadi K. Palaniswamy, has to decide on a series of factors, starting with coalition parties, giving tickets to various people, the candidates. So what's happening currently is that even though AIADMK is ready to provide 21 seats, which constituencies is becoming a problem? Already, PMK has acquired 23 seats that he sorted out by giving 10.5% reservation for 1 year. This did not go well with the Tevar community who come under MPC, and this is where BJP had given this plan that how about bringing Sashikala and TTV Dinakaran inside, which would actually persuade the Tevar community as well. But this, we spoke to TTV Dinakaran, each and every aspect of it he's calling it as either rumor or speculation. But when we ask will it be okay to go ahead and join hands with the AIADMK, he simply says that he will not answer to speculations, but he did not say no. So that aspect also we need to think about. And just like you played earlier, Sashikala till now is calling AIADMK government as Amma's government and is claiming her part in that party as well. So all this is definitely going to have a big play in this election.
They're in the package. All right, Pramod, thank you for joining us with those details. We'll keep coming across to you. However, I also want to explore here why Sashikala is a factor in Tamil Nadu politics. Why is the AIADMK now facing pressure from its own ally to actually merge with Chinnamma, ensure she's back within the alliance one way or another? Here's a report.
Hailed as Chinnamma or Junior Amma, VK Sasikala was always the power behind the throne, the operator behind the iron curtains at Veda Nilayam in Poor's Garden. After Jayalalitha passed away in December 2016, the Supreme Court convicted her in the disproportionate assets case. Sasikala was painted as the villain, the evil influence over an innocent Purachi Thalaivi by her detractors. Sasikala had virtually controlled the AIADMK and had its leaders falling at her feet in a post-Jaya order. But once she was behind bars at Bengaluru Central Prison, she was stripped off her post in the party and expelled. After serving her jail term, Sasikala is out now. A free woman. The optics of her leaving the hospital were significant. She travelled in an SUV that was one of the vehicles used by the late Chief Minister. The Toyota Land Cruiser was not merely a vehicle, it was a message. To top it, the AIADMK flag on the vehicle was unmissable and deliberate. If pictures could speak, they spoke 1,000 words. In a sense, these pictures took off from February 2017, when Sasikala travelled by road from Chennai to Bengaluru to surrender at the central prison. Before she left, she had visited Jaya's final resting place at the Marina Beach. Back then, in a dramatic gesture, she had thumped 3 times on the Samadhi with her open palm. It was interpreted as taking a vow. But the visual imagery apart, is there another reason for those in charge of the AIADMK to worry about the return of Sasikala? Even before Sasikala stepped out, EPS made it clear that the AIADMK doors were shut for her.
சசிகலா வெளியே வர பட்சத்தில் அதிமுக கூட இணையறதுக்கு வாய்ப்பு
ஒன்றும் வாய்ப்பே கிடையாது. அவர்கள் கட்சியிலே இல்லை. அதிமுக கட்சியிலே கிடையாது.
But EPS, who calls his administration Amma's government, knows that sooner than later, Sasikala will stake claim to the inheritance of Jaya's political legacy. As it is clear, he is already watching over his shoulder, which is perhaps why the Chief Minister strategically chose 27 January, the official date of Sasikala's release from prison, to throw open Jayalalitha's Samadhi at the Marina to the public. But is Sasikala likely to make her move on the Tamil Nadu political chessboard soon? She has 3 options before her. Option 1. Encourage unrest in the AIADMK in the run-up to the elections. Her nephew TTV Dinakaran, who heads the AMMK, has already made claims that she is still the General Secretary of the AIADMK. The second option is to campaign for the AMMK in the elections. But given that Dinakaran's support base has dwindled considerably, riding on the AMMK vehicle is not likely to help Sasikala rise like a phoenix from the ashes. The last option is to bide her time till the assembly elections get over in May 2021. If she plays a prominent role in the elections and does not taste success, it will be interpreted as Tamil Nadu giving her a clear thumbs down. If the AIADMK does not return to power, as opinion polls suggest, and that leads to a weakening of Palanisami's hold over the party, it will provide Sasikala the right opportunity to strike. With T.S. Sudhir, Bureau Report, India Today.
So what are Sasikala's options? She has a few setbacks to the fact that she cannot contest polls for the next 6 years, considering her conviction in the disproportionate assets case. So essentially, she can only call the shots from behind the throne. She can be a backstage player, but still has, of course, a lot of cards to play. One is the legal battle to reclaim the position in the AIADMK, which she's already moved forward with in the Madras High Court. She still has loyalists in the AIADMK. Some of them have vocally voiced their support for Chinnamma. Others still hesitant because they're not sure of what exactly Sasikala's next move is going to be. There's another option which Sasikala seems to be looking at now, which is to lead nephew TTV Dinakaran's party, the AMMK. But this is a big question mark, because while she is trying to push forward for her place in the AIADMK, a party like the AMMK not really recognized right now in Tamil Nadu. So while we focus on really what is going to be the big takeaway, whether Sasikala is going to be brought back into the party fold, let's also talk about what's happening as far as seat sharing talks for the AIADMK is concerned. Well, it continues to drag on between the AIADMK and the BJP. Even after a 3-hour-long meeting in the presence of Home Minister Amit Shah, sources claim that the BJP has sought 33 seats. The AIADMK was inclined to provide only 21 seats. The AIADMK's reasoning is this, that it's provided the PMK, the Pattali Makkal Katchi, a party with a larger presence in Tamil Nadu than the BJP, only 23 seats. So there's no way that they can give the BJP more than the PMK. Leaders within the AIADMK state that this would turn out to be an issue if more seats were given to BJP than ally PMK. Allocation of constituencies is also turning out to be a big headache currently for the AIADMK, as Chief Minister Edappadi Palaniswamy might have to make some sacrifices which will not go down well with others in the party. And with Sasikala remaining a looming threat, they cannot afford to upset any of the party leadership. Let's take a look at exactly what the numbers look like back in 2016 in the assembly elections. The AIADMK, out of the 234 seats, it contested in 227, so very few seats were kept for its allies. The BJP contested in all seats in 234. Important to highlight here that there was no alliance at that point between the BJP and the AIADMK. Now, in 2021, the BJP wants 33 seats given to fight this election. The AIADMK, however, maintains that they want to give only 21 seats, lesser than what they've given to the PMK. And this is where the stalemate lies.
Hello everyone, this is Rahul Kamal here. Hope you enjoyed this video. For the latest news and analysis, like and subscribe the India Today YouTube channel and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated.